Hello knockouts, TonyaTko here, and I wasn't going to record this video today, but when I went to go edit the last video, I was like, wow, my eyeliner is just perfect today. I was looking so pretty, you know, with the tan and everything, so I wanted to make sure that while I was looking this good, made another video. And I'm in the sun this time, so it's hot in the sun too, so hopefully that'll motivate me to make this video quick. The last video I was in the shade, so now I'm in the full glory of the light. So today we're going to be talking about how to hear the voice of God or your guardian angels or your guides when they speak to you. Number one, intro. The voice of God comes in the stillness. That's point number one. And what is covering my light? Oh my goodness. This tree is hating on me. Come on. I've had so many distractions. Okay. All right. Turn this way. All right. I want to block my lights. Okay, here we go. All right. So the voice of, and I'm going to do a bonus at the end on how to hear your intuition. But the voice of spirit, the voice of God, guardian angels, your guides, however you want to, whatever you want to refer to it as. And I think that there are different levels of energy to the vibration as well. And we'll talk about that in point 3. But the sound comes in the stillness. That's part 1, or A. B is the voice is always love. The voice is always loving. If you ever get a voice that's telling you to do something that you don't agree with, that you don't feel that sits with your higher self, or is not at the base foundation love, that's not the voice of spirit, of divine. So so now that we got those 2 caveats out of the way, also the voice of your higher self, of spirit, divine, God, however you want to refer to it, it will use all tools at its disposal. And you can also beckon. Oh my gosh, I see like an iguana or something just like slithering its way across. Oh, wildlife all around you. This is nature. Okay, so all tools at its disposal. You can beckon it forward, or you can make it crystal clear by asking for a sign to be sent to you, a sign which you will understand. You can always ask, and if you don't like any messages coming through, like when I was with my soul friend, there was always a lot of chatter going on, spiritual chatter going on inside of my mind. It was a divine connection, and there was a lot of chatter. You can always ask for that chatter to be ceased. If you're having dreams where messages are coming through, you don't want to really get the messages anymore, you could always ask for it to cease. You are always in control at every stage. So now that that's out of the way, let's talk about the 5 ways. Okay, number 1, know that we have help. That help is available to you. Know that all of your energy is not inside of your body. You are a human who has spiritual experience. Oh, I'm messing it up. Sometimes we think of ourselves as humans who have spiritual experiences, but you're actually a spirit having a human experience. And you're not here left out in the cold all alone. You do have help. You just have to fine-tune yourself into hearing it. You are a human avatar for your soul. And so your soul lives within your body. If you think about it this way, right? What is the part of you that remains you, even though every single cell in your body changes? This is not the same body I had when I was a baby. Every single cell has changed. But what is that one constant essence? That's your soul. And so your soul is living within the different frames of what this body will be and will become. And it's the fire of your soul that burns on when everything else changes around you. So your body is an avatar for your soul. And your soul does have a desire. You've come here to experience certain things. There are many different theories on it. Certain theories say that you some people say life is a classroom and there are lessons that you need to learn. Other people say that life is your way of creating how it is that you as God incarnate would like to know yourself and go through the different experiences that God can only have through you. I mean, that motivates me to want to live the best life that I can. Because if I'm God incarnate, look, I want God to have a good life here. Have a good life and live some great and some wonderful things through me. Patterns. You can take special clues to what it is that you're doing here by locating the patterns that exist inside your life. I'm currently writing a book. That's what I'm doing out here in Honduras right now. I got off the grid to be able to write this book. Well, actually, it seems like more than one book is coming out of me at a time. It's very interesting. And this is what we're talking about here, how to hear the voice of what it is that you're being beckoned to do. So you can pay attention to the patterns. I'm writing about that in the book, so don't worry, that'll be out. Also, we have angels, guides, guardian angels, and then there is the all-encompassing spirit. All of us in the collective are God. The plants, the trees, the butterflies, the animals, the dogs, all of us are fragments of God, and all of us together equal God. So when I say that there are different levels to the energy, I have guides and I have a higher self. My higher self, I can feel the energy of that in the sphere, in the right hand plane. I have other guides that sit two behind me, and there are two on this side right here. And then also the guides come in and the guides go out depending on what it is that you are going through at that time in your life. When I was with my soul friend, like I said, I had a lot of chatter going on. A new guide had to come in to assist in the situation, and then there's my higher self, which is the constant, and then I had two more over there. I'm still learning about it, and hopefully this video will be able to provide some insight for someone who is seeking the information that I have at this level. And as I continue to learn more, I'll continue to share with you what it is that I know going forward. So we talked about angels, guides, guardian angels, and God. Oh, no, we didn't talk about guardian angels. I don't know much about angels, but from what I hear, angels are these specific spirits who have chosen to be angels that swoop in and assist in, especially guardian angels, swoop in and assist in dire situations. And that from what I hear, we can always call upon the angels when we need them, but only in, emergencies or whatnot. Like when I was robbed in Guatemala, there was an energy surrounding me that was a lot more. It was a different energy than it was very strong, because it gripped me and it kept me sedate and calm. And doing some reading, I've found out that Guatemala is a very violent place, and that they are harming people in exchange for their goods out there. It's like buck wild. I didn't know that before I got there, but thank goodness, I guess that altercation could have been a lot worse than it was. So I was protected in this layer, and I do believe that was a guardian angel. Come on now, come on. I'm sorry. I don't just listen to something. I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was. Okay, listen. I ain't down with listen, bumblebees may be extinct in the U.S., but they are in full-fledged. Listen, bumblebees, wasps. I just saw some giant spiders early this morning. I don't got time to be out here getting stung up and all that. No. I told you this saw an iguana. Look, I'm going to show it to you. It may not be an iguana. You tell me what this is. It's just chilling. Look. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. Where is it? There it is. That's not an iguana. That's just a lizard, right? I think iguanas are bigger than that. Okay. It's hiding in the shadows. But yeah, I'm living with a lizard and a gecko. When I was in the apartment on the top, there was a lizard up there living with me. I think there's a gecko living with me down here. There's a lot of animals around here. This is nature. This is nature. Okay, let's go forward. Excuse that, Excuse that. Okay, where's my list? I lost my list. Okay. While I find my list, let's I could finish telling you about, there was the energy that came over me was a different energy than I'm used to feeling. I know what my higher self feels like when I was having my near-death experience. My higher self was with me. And when I was robbed on the street that day, it felt like the energy of a guardian angel, which really kept me protected and in a different, it was really powerful, and it swooped in, and it was strong and very direct. And remember, the feeling that I had gotten was a feeling of, you're going to be okay, everything is all right. And I was just like in a trance. It was so very interesting. I know that there's a lot more going on than we actually know and give credit for. We are a lot more powerful than we know, and we have a lot of assistance and a lot of help out there. So that is number, did we get to, that's number, oh my goodness, we didn't even finish number 2. We're only at number 2, 10 minutes in. But I hope this is good information for you. Please leave your feedback below. I really appreciate your comments. If there's something that you'd like to hear more about, please let me know. But let's go forward. Let's go forward. Okay. We as human beings, we have free will. So we can get suggestions from our angels, guardian angels. Well, we can get suggestions from our guides, from the angels, from God, etc. But it's really up to us to, well, you know what? As a caveat from that, I didn't really have control over myself when that guardian angel took control of me. I was not in control. There was a force that was in control. But we have free will, I guess, because that was a life or death situation. In normal circumstances, we have free will, and we have the ability to not listen if we choose not to listen. So that's part A of 2. Part B of 2, the density of the message. In order for the people who've crossed over, and the angels, guardian angels, etc., to be able to send us messages or come into contact with us or interact with us, they have to lower they have to slow down their vibration. Like everything that we see around us is energy. The plants, the trees, all of this stuff is all energy all around us. Even the stone is energy. And it's like you get a sense of it. Like, let's say there was a stop motion camera looking at something that you think is solid. Let's say a table made out of wood. The table made out of wood you perceive as solid, but that's just energy coagulated in one area and held up in that area. But if you looked at a stop motion camera over years, you would see that the wood would move and disintegrate, and it would flow out of its form that you see it in. So everything is all energy, and in order for them to come into contact with us, according to what it is that I have learned, they have to slow down their vibration. Sanaya Roman is a great person to read. Pick up a book by Sanaya Roman. She talks about angels and how angels communicate with us, etc. So they slow down, they create a density to their message, and they're not able to do it all the time. From what I hear, it's very trying and very energy consumptive for them to slow down their energy and their vibration to be able to interact with us here on Earth. And then also our attention and interpretation. We have to be, and I remember I said it speaks to us in the stillness, we have to be in a mode to be able to not only receive, but then we also have to be able to interpret what it is that we are receiving. And like I also said, you can also say things like, help me understand, or send me a message that's irrefutable that I'm sure to understand. Because each person, like for one lady I was speaking to, her husband really loved roses, and so roses would show up in her life randomly, and she knew what that meant. So I mean, if I was walking by, I wouldn't be like, oh, it's the spirit of, it's like each person is going to interpret something in a different way, and you can feel the energy and the vibration of it and connect to it and know what it is that it is. Someone else said that they see butterflies. Did you see that butterfly just flutter? Did you see that butterfly just flutter by? Somebody else says they see butterflies or whatever, and they know that that's the person who had, come on, I'm trying to stay in my light. Let's talk, okay. And so someone else said that, I can't take this. I don't understand why there's trees hating on me. Okay. Here we go. All right. And so there are different messages that you're going to receive that only you will be able to interpret in that way. And you can ask for the message to be fine-tuned in such a way that you will be able to hear it. Okay. Number 3 was when we talked about guides, higher self, guardian angels, etc. And and you can get to know these by the energy of them. We talked about that already. So number 4, attunement. You can attune yourself to be able to receive the message by cleaning up what's the word? Attuning, I forget. You can clean your chakras. You can clean up your diet. You can drink more water. You can get more sleep. You can meditate, and you can create an environment that is habitable to these messages, so that the messages can come forth, and you be a witness to them, and be able to attune yourself to be able to receive these messages. It's like, if you're filling your body with a lot of junk, remember we are human avatars, and we're all energy. And if everything that you eat is dead, I read, soon you will be too. So eat live foods, ingest live things from the earth into your body, natural fresh greens, fruits, juices, get a colon cleanse yourself. And just get yourself in alignment. Do some colon irrigation, and just cleanse yourself and get yourself ready to be able to receive that which is out there and available to us all. All right, and okay, the different ways that spirit, God, messengers, that they speak to us, our higher selves, our guides. My guides personally, my higher self speaks right to me. Into, like, I can do my meditation or turn my attention or ask a question, and the message comes right into me from different sides, depending on who it is that is speaking, or who it is that is communicating with me. But outside of that, messages from spirit show up in many different ways. Dreams, songs, keywords that rise up out of conversations that are passing by you, different paths. A whisper in your ear. When I was working TKO Skin, the names, like the name for some of my products, would be whispered to me. Like even some ingredients, like as I'm waking up from a dream, it would be whispered right into my ear, and I would hear it right as I'm waking up, and I'd be like, oh, I need this. Like, I need this ingredient. And it would happen to me, like, even for so many different things. It's happened with a whisper in my ear, a picture that you see, pictures that come into your mind, a film that's playing. You happen to walk by a film, or you turn on a film, and something rises out of the film that you had not heard before, the theme of the film, or any number of things, and from an animal, or spontaneous thought from the title of something that you read, from a paragraph in a book. Even in the clouds, like, spirit will use anything and everything at its disposal to communicate with you. And it's really up to you to really look around and pay attention, interpret that. And it will be unique to your understanding. So I think we've pretty much covered everything inside this video. I'm happy that I was able to make this video. I know the video is not perfect, but in life, is anything ever? It'll be perfect for the right person at the right time. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm listening to the call inside of me. One last thing I'll add before I go. Because I'm on this trip, because I'm very obedient to my intuition. Oh, we were going to talk about intuition at the end of this video. I'm very obedient to my intuition, and I'm very obedient to the messages that I receive, and I listen, and I go in this direction because I feel that my higher self and my soul knows a little bit more than I may know, and that there may be things that I'd like to accomplish as a soul that I feel that it's my duty as a human being, since I'm this human avatar. I feel it's my duty to participate in helping my soul reach its full soul desire. So, but being on this trip, I haven't really been able to get as still as I would, well, before. Like now I am. That's why the videos have come back. But before, you know, going from hostel to hostel, being around a lot of different energies and around a lot of different people, not really being able to have, you know, private space, being in Guatemala and not being able to really set up my camera in such a way that I wasn't sure whether or not someone would snatch it as it was being recorded. And then you all would never know because the camera would have been snatched and there wouldn't be no evidence of the video unless they posted it for me, but they wouldn't post it on my channel. But nonetheless, so really not being able to really get into meditation and not really being able to really, like, being on guard and being like really heavy with the feeling of having to protect myself. I wasn't really able to hear my intuition. What sponsored this video was this chair feels like it's breaking apart. What prompted this video was when I was in Guatemala, I didn't want to stay in Guatemala anymore. There was someplace else that I was being drawn to, but I wasn't sure where. I wanted to head down to Argentina because I really didn't want to be in I wanted to be in a country that had that the US dollar was doing well in, but that the people weren't poor and destitute and angry about being poor and feeling the feelings of destitution and that they have to rob other people to survive like they were doing in Guatemala. You know, I wanted to be someplace different, but I wasn't sure where. So I wasn't sure if I was going to go to Belize or Honduras. I didn't know what I was going to do. And so I started, you know, asking different people if they knew of different things, blah, blah, blah. And I went out to the day that I was making up my mind, because it was like I already told the people at the hostel I was checking out, but I wasn't sure where I was going, and I didn't really have a way to get there. Well, I didn't have a way to get there because I didn't know where I was going. So I went out to lunch, right? And when I went to lunch, there was a black guy was walking past the door, and this I'm telling you, we have help, and everything is just like so divine, like all of the things that have to be put into place. If I would have left just a moment earlier, if I would have sat on the other side of the table instead of the side of the table facing the door, if that young man who was passing by had left just a moment before, and like all of these things had to come into alignment. So I can't even imagine how much energy it took for the universe to put things in alignment that way. But nonetheless, I was sitting there, and this black guy passes by the open door. And so he sees me, a black woman, and you know, we black women, we don't travel enough. We don't travel enough. So he saw me, a black woman, sitting there, and I caught his attention because, you know, we're in Guatemala. Not that many black women travel, period. How many black women are in Guatemala? So he saw me, he stopped, and he went to speak to me. And it just so happens that he was from where? Honduras. And so he was telling me about Honduras. I was asking him some questions about the crime and what he thinks and where's an inexpensive place to go, a quiet place to go, etc. And he told me about San Pedro Sula, and he told me about Utila and different places. So I was like, okay, cool. And then when I went back to the hostel again, you know, the person who was at the front desk happened to have been a person who had been to Utila. And so they were telling me about Utila, and they were like, oh, Utila is a great place to go. And then the next person that I spoke to just happened to also know about Honduras. And so it was like a succession of different things that happened. And then there was a van. There were 3 other guys that had booked the van, and they were looking for a 4th person to go to Honduras. It was like all of these different messages all around. And then not only that, you know what? I'm going to rewind back. Because I had wanted to go down to Argentina, but Argentina is like a 2-week by road trip. And we're talking about 2 weeks straight, spending the night here, getting on a bus, going 14 hours, spending the night, then continuing on like 8 different stops to get to Argentina. Also, Argentina, it was a far way to go, very expensive to get there. $1,500 flight from Guatemala. So I was like, no, I'm going to take the bus, but I need to go in a way that's going to be safe. You know, so I was looking for a sign that this was for me to do or whatnot. And then I happened to be talking to a friend who was, how do I put it? She was telling me about this particular seminar that she thought that I would be interested in, blah, blah, blah. And, and I just so happened to go onto the net and find out that of all places in the world, that this one particular seminar, and this person whom is an associate of mine was throwing a seminar here, well, there in Guatemala. So I was like, okay, rather than go to Argentina then, take a segue to someplace close, come go to the seminar, and then head down to Argentina after that. So it's like everything just happened in alignment, like the universe just spoke to me in alignment. Okay, so if you've made it to the end of this video, I would love for you to share a story with me about how the universe spoke, how God, how your guardian angels, how the universe spoke to you through different activities, whether it's from a hunch or different things that you saw, or like a procession of different people that happened to come your way, or the title of a play or whatever. Talk to me about how the universe or God or spirit, the divine, how the divine spoke to you through the different tools of the earth. I'd love to hear about that. So listen, let me get out of here. I've gotten my tan on and my black pants are starting to attract some heat, so I'm going to get out of here, but I'm ready to go anyway. The video is done. But hug me. Oh, you're so far. Hug me. Oh. I love you so much. Sweating. All right, go out there and love one another, but most importantly, what? That's right. Love yourself. Come over to my website. Make sure you join my mailing list, TonyaTko.com. This video I'm going to publish privately on my site first and send it out to the people on my mailing list before I publish it publicly. So you get special perks with being on the mailing list. You also get a free download of my guide, How to Truly Love Yourself and Heal Old Trauma. And you'll also, can you even see me? And you'll also know when my book is done. I'm out here working on a book now that will help you learn how to truly love yourself and heal old trauma through some exercises. It's going to be a workbook. I'm actually working on more than one book, but stay in touch, darling. We will talk soon. TonyaTko, and I'm out. Peace. Come to www.TonyaTko.com and download your free copy of my guide entitled Truly Love Yourself and Heal Old Trauma, and set up an appointment to have a free healing strategy session with me today. Remember, go out there and love one another, but most importantly, love yourself.